Do you want to know what Bitcoin is and how it works? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly that in this video. Plus, I'll be sharing a few little known secrets about the current financial system. Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video, you'll learn what is Bitcoin as well as cryptocurrencies. And I'll be going through an overview of fiat currency versus Bitcoin. Right, ladies and gents, let's start with the introduction to Bitcoin and digital currencies. So in this video, I'm going to be touching occasionally on a few technical terminologies, but I'm not going to go too deeply. What is Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is a digital or virtual currency, aka cryptocurrency, and it's designed to work as a medium of exchange. Essentially, cryptocurrencies are limited entries in a database that no one can change unless specific conditions are fulfilled. So, how does Bitcoin work? Well, basically it is issued through the process we call mining, based on specific algorithms. And it uses cryptography to secure and verify transactions and to control the creation of these new units. So, what is cryptography? It sounds like a big scary word. It's just a method of using advanced mathematical principles in storing and transmitting data in a particular form, so that only those it is intended for can read and process it. Where does it come from? Well, there have been many attempts at creating a digital currency during the 90s tech boom, but all of them have failed. And there are many reasons for failure, fraud, financial problems, and so forth. The one thing though to take note of is those systems used a trusted third-party approach, which means the companies behind them verified and facilitated the transactions. In early 2009, an anonymous programmer or a group of programmers under an alias Satoshi Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin. Described as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, completely decentralized, no servers involved, no central controlling authority, similar to peer-to-peer file sharing. Bitcoin solved the double spending problem, which is the technique of spending the same amount twice. Traditional solution, trusted third party, which kept record of balances and transactions. Bitcoin decentralized network, every participant does the job of the third party. So that brings me to the next topic, blockchain. Blockchain is an underlying framework of Bitcoin. It's a public permanent list of transactions stored on all of the computers doing the mining. Therefore, it's secured and it's universal and it records everything of who owns what. Everyone in the network can see everyone's account balance, providing that they've got the wallet address. So how does that work? Well, basically, every transaction is a file with sender and recipient's public keys. That's the wallet address that you send to someone if you want them to send you some Bitcoin, with amount of coins transferred. The sender also needs to sign off transactions with private key. Transaction is broadcasted in the network. Transaction needs to be confirmed first. And now keep in mind, only miners confirm transactions by solving cryptographic puzzle. They mark these transactions as legitimate, plus they spread them across the network. Every node of the network adds it to its database. Once the transaction has been confirmed, it is unforgeable and irreversible. Bitcoin key points to keep in mind. Bitcoin can be seen as digital gold, basically a store of value. The value increases as adoption increases. Bitcoin is deflationary, which means over time it's just going to keep on gaining value, as opposed to fiat currencies, which are inflationary. Here's an interesting point. In 2010, 2 pizzas were bought with 10,000 BTC. How is that? Today it's worth almost $100 million. Can you believe that? How does the current fiat money system work? Very interesting topic and question. Well, basically fiat just means it's been issued. The Reserve Bank in the respective country issues the money. They just print it as they like. The amount of money supply was traditionally based on physical gold reserves, but that is no longer the case. Today, money supply is not based on gold reserves anymore. Each reserve bank links to the BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements. The reserve banks are privately owned, not government owned. So that brings me on to the next topic. How does the current fiat money system work? So I'll just be going through a few overview points. It's a very interesting topic. So basically, fiat means it's issued. The Reserve Bank issues money, they print it as and when they like. Amount of money supply was traditionally based on physical gold reserves. However, today, money supply is not based on gold reserves anymore. It's basically based on nothing. Each reserve bank links to the BIS, Bank of International Settlements. The reserve banks are privately owned, not government owned, opposing the popular consensus. They are a central authority that issues money. So continuing on the fiat money topic, one of the forms of fiat money is in a printed form, but inherently it is created digitally when loans are taken. That, ladies and gents, is the foundation of a debt-based money system, whereby money is created out of thin air. Wouldn't you love to be able to do that? People and government borrow money from the banks. The banks borrow from the Reserve Bank. Reserve Bank charges banks interest. Very interesting system there. And it is inflationary in nature. So what does that mean? Well, if you go and do some research and look at the price of gold 100 years ago, you'll find that it was approximately $20 an ounce. But today, it's about $1,700 an ounce. So how did that happen? It's still an ounce of gold. Well, basically, the actual money that we use has lost its value over time. It's got less buying power because there's more and more in circulation. So that's one of the big problems with fiat currency. There's unlimited supply, so it really dilutes the value of it. But a commodity such as gold, silver, and now digital gold in the form of Bitcoin is deflationary, which means over time it's going to keep on gaining value. You see, ladies and gents, I bought my first Bitcoin back in 2016, May, when it was around $660. But at that point, I didn't really know what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrencies are, how it works. I didn't have the perspective because I didn't really understand how it compares against the financial system that we currently know. But over time that changed, and I had my aha moment when I realized that Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. It is a thing that we cannot see, touch or feel, but it's got value. You see, I realized I need to be working on a strategy to accumulate as many Bitcoins as possible. Because since we're saying and understanding that Bitcoin is a deflationary asset, its value is going to keep on growing and it's going to remain among the top performing asset classes. And in my mind, Bitcoin's price at some point is going to be exploding as more and more people start using Bitcoin as a means of exchange, as a store of value, and big institutions start getting involved. So what else can we cover around fiat money? Well, basically the government charges citizens tax to pay the bank's interest. Whoever controls the money supply has total control of the economy or the country. So I ask you this question: to whom does the world owe the approximately trillions and trillions of dollars in debt? I'm sure you've heard this news headline saying the world is in debt of X amount of dollars, trillions and trillions. My question is to who? Basically, it is the people who own the supply of the money system, the people who own the reserve banks. So let's have a quick overview of the differences between Bitcoin and fiat currency. So if we look at method of creation, Bitcoin is created through mining with a computer or a server, whereas fiat currency is issued through the central bank out of thin air. Ownership and control. So the miners create Bitcoin, but no one owns it as a whole. There's no central authority, whereas with the Reserve Bank, they are privately owned and they own the whole money supply. Then supply. So basically by design, Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins. Whereas with fiat currency, how much do you want? And they can print it. Trust. Bitcoin is a trustless system. It's got built-in integrity and therefore it is tamper-proof. Whereas with fiat, you've got government and Reserve Bank intervention and control. And the question is, can you trust them? Transparency. Bitcoin runs on the public ledger known as the blockchain, whereby we can see all the transactions happening in real time. When it comes to fiat, the word transparency doesn't exist basically. International transactions. So yeah, when sending Bitcoin from one person to the other, cross-border, someone sitting right next to you, doesn't matter. The transactions cost much less than fiat transactions, and it's basically completed within a couple of hours depending on the congestion of the network, and that is known as peer-to-peer transactions. Whereas with fiat, it is slow and expensive, and it takes place between different banks. So there's conversion rates taking place, fees, and it takes time. Usually it's calculated in business days, 3 to 5 or 7 business days, depending on which bank, which country. And inception. So Bitcoin was officially brought into the world on January the 3rd, 2009. And the first block was mined. That is known as block 0, the Genesis block, with a reward of 50 Bitcoins. When it comes to fiat, government-issued banknotes were first used in the 11th century by China. Interestingly enough, they're also one of the first countries to launch their own digital currency. So that, ladies and gents, is an overview and introduction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now that you know what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are, I suggest you familiarize yourself with Bitcoin and open up a Bitcoin wallet. In my next video, I'll be covering how to buy and sell Bitcoin. So if you'd like to learn more, then watch my upcoming videos. Thank you for watching my video. If you found some value from this video, please let me know in the comments. And I'd like to ask you to please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends.